I learned was, after filling the vessels with the flour and the egg and the milk and the water and turning on the industrial beater, this was a piece of equipment that was Army surplus that had been garnered cheaply by my family. And we would mix that into the dough. I would then put a towel over it, and I would stack all the kettles I could on top of that towel. And I would go lie down on the floor and smoke. And that dough would rise. And as it would rise, when it rised enough, the kettles would fall off the top, making a clanging noise and waking me up, telling me it was time quick to get over and to start making the buns. So the holidays were a time where we worked. We worked extra hard. My parents bought a restaurant. We moved from having to be the bakers to the food service. I think in 7 years, the restaurant was closed 3 days because my mother strained her back. At the end of those 7 years, my parents decided to take a holiday. And they put us all in the car. And my dad's goal was to show us the country, because we hadn't had a chance to see it. We were all so busy working hard as a family, because a family business has no employees. So we all piled in to the Chrysler and traveled across country. I think we saw 46 states on that trip. I don't think my dad ever made one additional stop for us to use the bathroom.
What?
I remember when we went to Washington, D.C. We went to see the Lincoln Monument. My dad was telling us about Lincoln and what a wonderful monument it was. And then he asked if we'd like to see it again, because he could drive around the block. There was no stopping on that trip. It was a holiday for us to be together and to see the country. I saw Bryce Canyon. I saw California for the first time. My dad drove me through the redwoods. And after driving me through the redwoods, took me to see Berkeley, California. You see, my dad was a Chicago cop. He had retired and owned a business, a bar. You know, cops love to open bars when they retire. I know y'all think it's a donut shop, but that's not the dream. And it's kind of ironic because I watched my dad busting drunks when he was a cop, and then saying, "Last call, one for the road." So I kind of became interested in philosophy, I think, as a result of that dichotomy. It was wonderful to have those family experiences growing up. And by the time we had finished that vacation, I don't think my parents wanted to sit in the car with their children again for 2 years. And I'm sure that the children did not want to sit in the car again with the parents. I remember getting chronically car sick. Both my parents were smokers. I was a kid with a bad heart. And the question was, how come Richard always gets car sick? He's always puking in the car. Well, a little oxygen would have been. The holidays are important to me because now I work for the state. And now a holiday is truly a holiday. Sadly, my wife owns her own business. So the holidays for me are sometimes catching up on the honey-do list of my wife's business. So the work never ends, regardless of whether or not it's a holiday. The trick to it is, if you learn to love your work, whatever it is, life is forever a holiday. Thank you very much.
Good.